Hello, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 12 of the Midwest Gaming Classic Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Garris, Panel Director of the Midwest Gaming Classic. And this podcast episode is about From Muscles to Gaming Stardom. Join Steve Henneberry, Tower from American Gladiators, and John Parrish, Jax from Mortal Kombat, as they talk about how building their bodies also helped build their careers and how their muscles translated into star power. And you know what? Enough of me talking. Why don't we get to the panel?
Joining us today, we've got Steve Henneberry, Tower from American Gladiators. And I'm looking at a lot of guys that are pretty close to my age. How many of you guys remember watching it growing up? Everybody, and ladies, sorry.
I tried.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I got sick right in the parking lot.
In Universal Studios?
It was at Rosemont.
So, and then
Hey, before we start, why don't you guys come forward so you're part of this here? Yeah. So you guys we feel like we're connected with you. Lots of spots.
So then we got John Parrish, who did the motion capture for.
No, not motion cap. We didn't.
Sorry.
We never did motion cap. I'm the original actor for Mortal Kombat 2, 3, and the Ultimate.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And I stand corrected.
Yeah, it was before the technology.
Right.
Way before the technology.
So now you guys just said something I'm going to go back to, but just quick recap. We kind of heard your story yesterday, but for those that weren't here yesterday, can you each talk about how you got to where you are?
Testing. Okay. What do you mean by where we are?
So how did you get involved with Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat was basically an experiment with Midway Games from Danny Pacina and John Tobias. They just wanted to pitch something to Midway. And they brought the first game, Mortal Kombat 1, to the health club, because that's where all of us, if you look at the entire crew, our main theme is from Lakeshore Athletic Club. And when they brought the game in, Danny and them wanted to have me test it out, and I said, oh, this is a great game. Oh man, this is awesome, the kids are gonna love this. I said, but there's one problem. Ain't no brothers in the game. What the hell is that? I said, we play too. And then 2 weeks later, they came out with a sketch of Jax. You know, and since I'm a bodybuilder, you know, it was, you know, I said, well, who is that? And they said, that's you if you want to do it. I said, do I get paid? They said, yep. I said, I'm in. Where do I go? Where do I go? You know, I didn't even ask how much I got paid. I didn't say, I'm just like, I'm in. Okay. And that's how Mortal Kombat, I mean, there's no script. There was never a script. There's no storyline back in that day. We just threw things at the wall, we sat around, we joked about stuff, and we just came up with things. You know, the gotcha move, you know, the get over here move, all of that. That's how it all started. And that's all we did. I mean, we were in basically when we filmed it was a mop closet, and I don't know how, some of you aren't old enough, but a 486 Pentium processor computer or a 586 is very slow. So they had a camera hooked up to it and it was going, zip, go a little slower. And when I had to do the backflips, they asked me, said, can you slow that down? I said, that's a backflip. I said, I can't slow that down. I said, we're going to have to, I'll do a couple of them and then we'll do some rolls and simulate, you know. So, I mean, and that's what we did. I mean, we just had fun. We were all friends. most of us grew up together. So, I mean, that's what Mortal Kombat was all about. That's why it's still popular today.
And Steve, how about your process of getting to American Gladiators?
Well, I too was a bodybuilder, and for those of you who heard this yesterday, excuse me, repeat, but I was at a photo shoot for Muscle Fitness, and a photographer said, "Hey, you should go try out for this show." And again, he hands me a VHS tape for the pilot and says, "Check it out." And for those of you who know what a VHS tape is, it's kind of dating it. But I remember going back to San Diego and popping it in that night and saying, "God, this is a dumb show. Why would I want to do this?" It was really, I said, but something inside me said, get your butt up to Universal Studios and audition for this. And I did. And I'm, really grateful that I did get up there and do it because it changed my life, and as he was saying that, it was so prehistoric, we didn't have, I didn't know how much I was going to make. I just was happy that I had a gig.
Yeah.
I was happy that I was working. I was happy I was getting residuals. And that the show wasn't popular yet, so no one knew who I was. And over time, and over the seasons, the show became the number one syndicated show in the world. And we were talking about this yesterday, is that we did all of this without social media, the internet. If we can't even imagine how big the show would be today if we had all that at our disposal, really. So we did it the old-fashioned way. We really did. We, it was all, when we would show up somewhere, it was a big deal because today when we show up, people already know what we look like, know what we had for breakfast there through social media. Back then, fans were fans, and they were just really excited to see you. And now it seems like they've already been through your whole week, through social media.
Oh, shit.
So.
I'm glad we didn't have this in the 90s, man.
Well, we'd all be arrested. So, it just, the show evolved for us, into just this phenomenon. And then we went on the 152 city tour all across America. That was 9 months on the road, which was just brutal. But it just made the show that much more popular when we were selling out in Reunion Arena, 25,000 people, for the American Gladiators. It was just amazing. Or Madison Square Garden selling out. That's just an amazing thing to put on my resume. I never thought growing up here in Wisconsin, small town boy from Wisconsin, being on the marquee at Madison Square Gardens. So it was pretty cool.
Now, where in Wisconsin are you from?
Originally from the south of Milwaukee, Waterford, Racine County.
Okay. Now, John, you were saying up here a little while ago, you actually tried out for American Gladiators.
I tried. I was in the parking lot in Rosemont. And next thing I know, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go in. Oh yeah, we're ready to do this. And all of a sudden, something hit my stomach. And I don't know, it was the flu or something, and it was no way. And it was just, I said, I stepped out the car and said, what the hell? And I had my girlfriend with me at that time, and it was like, she said, what's wrong? I said, I ain't gonna make this. This ain't happening. I said, and it started cramping and hurting, and I said, we're gonna have to take me back home. But I had my tights on, I was like, my leg warmers on, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Yeah, I think I can hang with these big boys up here. No, it just did not happen. Some things happen, but in my life, after that, I've been on Jenny Jones. I was on Danny Springer, Springer, Jerry Springer. I was on Danny Bonaducci. I've been on Bertice Berry. So, I've had a great life. And then with Mortal Kombat, what I did was I melded I'm an IT professional. So I melded all of them together. my martial arts, my athleticism, okay, my IT stuff, I put all of it together and I created what I got today. So we do a lot of these conventions throughout the country. So that's, and as a bodybuilder, a lot of people don't understand what bodybuilding really is. We are performers. We just look damn good when we do it. We just look damn good. We put on some skivvies. If we were in an auditorium like this with a bunch of people on the stage, we could not see you because the lights are right in our face. We're listening to the judges. Quarter turn to the right, quarter turn to the left, turn around, back double bicep, back left spread. We don't see you at all.
We hear you.
We hear you if you get a loud enough voice, but we don't see anybody. And the judges sit down low. So we're just listening to the commands. And then they say, okay, exit, we'll see you tonight.
20 weeks of preparation and it's over in a matter of minutes.
Oh, yeah, when you're counting down, like right now, if I wanted to do a show, I could do one in 8 weeks. Okay, but the preparation, your meal preps, your food, your timing, your sleep, everything comes into play. Okay, and the rest of the world doesn't give a damn of how you feel. And trust me, when we get into that 4-week phase, we're hangry. We're looking at people, we're saying, we don't even like our own family. It's like, go away. Okay? I'm trying to rest. Go away. And then we step in. This is the interesting part. It's called body dysmorphia. You look in the mirror. Damn, why do I look that? You ripped as hell. But you look in that mirror and say, fat. Then you go to another mirror somewhere else later in the day. Oh, there I am. I look good. And it's a yo-yo effect, constantly. And then of course we have to tan. Okay, we have to oil up when we get there now. Okay, I said, do I look right? All my cuts out. You know the feeling. You know it. You say, okay, am I striated here? Okay, can I get on this stage?
First of all, we're our worst critic, when you look in the mirror. So, like he's saying, the whole prep thing for me, now I'm competing in the Masters division. I'm over 60. So it's a little bit different. Our bodies don't, for me, my body, it takes me more than 8 weeks, for me. But like this is my off-season. I had a minor surgery about 4.5 weeks ago, so I'm just kind of getting back into the hardcore training and back into the rhythm again. And I plan on being on stage next July for the Masters Mr. America. And
is that the one in Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I might be there with you.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right.
Because I'm 58.
That's awesome.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I said, this year I said I'm going to take the year off.
Yeah.
Because, I got deaths in the family and stuff like that, and I got to tend to all of that. So I'm taking the year off. And then I said, I'll still train. I train 7 days a week because I'm an instructor. But, I stay in this shape all year round. And if anybody wants to know the secret, it's in your food. Okay? It's all in the food. How you eat.
Well, my diet was blown out of the roof when I got back to Wisconsin. I've had cheese curds.
Oh, shit.
I've had fish fry. And I had a Culver's custard yesterday. So those are the 3 things that when I come back, I binge on because I don't get those in California.
Oh, last night, everybody said, you don't eat fat? I said, no, normally I don't, unless it's in the food. I said, but last night I had me a slab of ribs at Moe's. And I didn't know it was a whole slab of ribs. Okay.
It's a quarter of a cow.
I was like, okay. And I ate the whole thing. I said, I must have been hungry. Okay.
You don't mess around here.
No. The great thing about like when I'm prepping for a show is my wife does it with me. She competes in the figure and the over 60 figure. So it's like we have each other. So if I'm having a bad day or a grumpy day, she brings me up and vice versa. We prep our food together. We train together. It's funny because when I first, 15 years ago, on our very first date, I just was laying it out for her. I said, okay, there's 3 things that I don't do. I don't eat sushi. I don't share my food, and I don't train with women. And quite frankly, now 15 years later, Friday night sushi is my favorite night. I love ordering something else, experiencing it together, and she's been one of the greatest training partners I've ever had. So, it's funny how you change, your perspectives as you get older. It makes it a little more enjoyable because it should be fun. If it's not fun, you shouldn't be doing it. When you're depleting carbs, our coach will have me on a keto diet. Oh shit, no carbs. Straight protein, only fats. I'm a jerk. But I have to do it in a way that it's fun still.
Yeah, and that's correct. I mean, over the years, I've been doing this since 1988. Bodybuilding, lifting, swimming, all of that. And as I got older, especially in the last 3 or 4 years, I'm like, I don't eat any, I eat carbs, but not that many. They're very complex. I'm on a very high protein diet, okay? And, I just stay lean, but I train 7 days a week because I'm an instructor for export in the southwest of Chicago. So I have to I'm burning calories all of the time. Now, unfortunately, I don't have anybody to help me prep like his wife. I wish I did. I see a lot of guys do that, but so I know how to prep myself. I weigh all my food, okay? I know how to cut them into chunks where they're easy to eat, high fiber vegetables, and you just have to. The thing I'll tell everybody is you got to be consistent. If you're not consistent, it's not going to work. Okay, it's okay to have a drink every now and then. It's okay to have some popcorn or whatever every now and then. But if you're going to do, a fitness lifestyle, you got to be consistent. And as me and him are bodybuilders, I said, when we are going into prep, he goes in for 16, I go in for about 12 to 8, okay? It depends on, you got to know where your body is, how lean you are to start off with, okay? So I know exactly what I'm supposed to eat, plus put it in, get one of those apps where you actually chart your food. So you will know what the numbers are. That's very important because if you don't know where your numbers are, you don't know where you're going. And I said, and yes, like he said in the beginning, yeah, we are our own worst critic when we're getting ready for a contest. It is bad. Okay, it can get, the Barbie girl has nothing on us. She ain't got nothing on us, I'm gonna tell you. Ken, he has nothing on us. Okay, I said, because like I said, I can walk past the mirror and be like, damn, I look skinny. And then there's key phrases that people should not use to a bodybuilder. Get small. Don't say we're getting small. Don't say we're skinny. I had a girl the other day tell me, yeah, Jeff, you're looking skinny. I said, it's the wrong word. I said, I'm lean. I said, I got 8% body fat. I'm very lean. I'm 215 pounds. I'm happy. Okay? You know, I look in the mirror. I'm like, yeah, I still got a six-pack. Okay, you know, face getting a little drawn in, you know, but I'm not getting ready for a shot. Now, next year, and for those who saw me last year, yes, I was bitter because I was eating a lot of different stuff. This year, I can't eat that.
Yeah, you know, I agree with him as far as the commitment. You know, it's anything in life you do, you have to have the commitment first and then the consistency. Okay? It's, you're raising kids. You have to commit and be consistent with them. Marriages or relationships, you have to commit and be consistent. Our bodybuilding and our lifestyle fitness, you got to commit and you got to stay consistent, otherwise it won't work. So I use the commitment and consistency in everything in my life. And it's funny that when I'm training for a show, when we're training for a show, my production volume in real estate, because I sell real estate now, it goes through the roof. Because I'm just so much more laser focused on life. So, because I'm consistent with my workouts, I do 5 a.m. cardio, fasted cardio, you know, my first meal by 6:30 in the morning, second meal by 10:15, third meal by 12 o'clock. I mean, talk about regimen, okay? But then everything else in my professional life as a real estate agent doubles. Because what you focus on expands. And if I'm focusing on, you know, as little as my 8 ounces of ground turkey with 1 cup of white rice and 1 cup of greens, you know, it's easy to focus on an expired listing and get that listing. It's funny how that works. So, you know, if you guys take anything at all away from this today is, try applying this attribute in your life. Commit to something and stay consistent to see how things change.
But now, Steve, I just had a curiosity here about when you were doing American Gladiators. Can you talk about your training and your body prep when you were filming the show versus the off season? Yeah, so in March or April, we filmed in June and July, so we knock out a whole season in 3.5 weeks. But about March, April, myself and Laser, we started training a lot different. We started doing more core and more stability exercises because at 305, I was already big enough, but I wanted to be able to be an athlete still. I wanted to be able to be flexible and agile because we had a lot of contestants that come on the show that were bigger than a house, but they couldn't scratch their butt. You know?
Yeah, man, that's true.
You know, so I always, myself and Laser, we always try to, you know, stay an athlete. You know, at 305, I ran a 4.840 because of my athleticism and my ligaments and joints. I always, because that's the part that I felt kept me healthier than a lot of the other gladiators because they didn't do that. And then in the off season, again, we would rehab back our injuries after filming. And that was an 8 to 12 week process, and then we were doing a lot of appearances. So, you know, they wanted us in shape at appearances, so we had to be, you know, camera ready and you know, ripped. So it was more of the bodybuilding regimen then when we were showing for appearances. But again, I was 30 years old then, and I mean, I could still have a cheeseburger and still look ripped.
Well, like I said, I had that slab of ribs last night, and I said, I'm lean, but no, he's absolutely right. I mean, we have an off season, we have an on season, and you got to stay agile. In all my classes, and I teach them 7 days a week, and I even stretch even when we're here at the booth, okay, constantly. And people say, "What are you doing? What are you looking for?" I said, "I'm not looking for anything." I said, "I'm stretching." I said, "That's because I'm trying to keep my ligaments and joints limber." Okay, because your core is not your stomach. Let's get that understood right now. It is actually your pelvis, because everything attaches to the pelvis. Your back, your stomach, your quads, your hams, everything attaches to the pelvis. Okay, so in my classes, I'm the only one who does it. I've incorporated what we call booty bands or versalute bands. Okay, and I do them every single day with every single class, and all my classes are booked full. Okay, so what you need to understand is everything is in the middle, right down there. That's where everything is. Okay, so like he said, even at 300 pounds, he wanted to stay agile. When I got to 250 pounds, I wanted to stay agile. So I incorporated that all of the time. I wanted to do that. So my hips are fine. You know, everything is fine. Okay, because it's going to sound morbid. If you break a hip, it's a countdown to death. And I've seen it in my wife's Filipino, I've seen it with all her relatives. I said, you break a hip, you're in trouble. Okay, keep your knees, keep those joints, shoulders, elbows, everything intact. Okay, so if you're gonna train not with heavy weight. It's not about the weight, it's about your form. It's all about the form. The body moves in a very specific way. When you do certain things, it moves a very specific way. So don't try to force it to do something it doesn't do.
If you have lower back issues, I mean, who has lower back issues? Okay, it's not your back, it's your core. It's okay. People think it's their spine, and you may have crushed vertebrae. And I mean, I've got L4, L5 that are herniated a little bit, and they wanted to perform surgery, and I refused to let them. I just strengthen my core. When my back hurts, I do core exercises. Because what happens when you strengthen your core, it pulls everything together, tightens it up, and it alleviates that pressure on your lower back. Okay, so just use that as a thought. Just Google core exercises, and you'll come up with 100 of them. And these are ones that you can all do at home. A lot of them you can do at home. Planks, get down on your forearms and extend yourself out. It's one of the best core exercises you can do. And it's simple. You do 4 sets of those and hold it for 1 minute. You know, twice a day, you'll see a huge difference.
And then also, when you first get up in the morning, unless you have to rush to pee, sit there for a minute and stretch. Stretch the body. Okay? First thing in the morning, stretch the body. Okay? A lot of people don't do that. When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I lean down. You know, you can hear a crunch, and then you're like, oh, okay. Now we're ready to go. We go to the bathroom, come back, stretch some more. Like he said, go online, pigeon pose, Malasana squat, okay? Those are the things that you need to do every day. Touch your toes. The more you do it every day, the better you get. It's called perfect practice makes perfect, not the other way around, okay? So, I mean, I teach this every day, and I'm like, I said, no, the reason I can do what I do is because I do it every day. Okay, I do it every day. You know, I said I practice what I preach. So, I mean, and like I said, you can Google anything now, and it will tell you, you know, not only how to eat, but, you know, I mean, take some fish oil, take some vitamin E. Okay, take your multivitamins, eat greens, get some rice for carbohydrates, not a bunch of rice. My wife's Filipino, boy, they love rice.
Oh, I love it.
They love some damn rice. And I said, yeah, well, that's too much rice. You guys are too short for that. Okay, you're eating like sumo wrestlers. Okay, so I mean, it's all about being consistent and just incorporating these simple rules that we're giving you in your everyday life.
And you don't have to take it to the level that we've taken it.
Oh no.
Okay, so, you know, moderation is a great start. I mean, I've always gone off the 2 grams per pound of body weight for protein. Okay, that's what I've always done since the 1980s, way before all this stuff. I mean, when I first started, I don't know about you, but I ate more tuna fish than I could ever admit I want to do again.
Mine was tilapia.
Because tuna fish was in a can, you get the water, you drain it, and it was quick and easy to get protein. I remember drinking liquid amino acid with a cherry flavored stuff, and you had to pinch your nose because it was so bad. But I knew I had to get this in because it was a good source for rebuilding muscle. Now you can drink your branched chain aminos while you're training, and you get a pump like a madman from the branched chain aminos. I try to stay away from all the ephedrine pre-workout stuff personally. For a while there when Bucked Up first came out, I tried some of their Bucked Up pre-workout stuff. It didn't give me the jitters, but it kind of hurt my stomach.
Yeah, it burns.
Yeah. So, but I do the Bucked Up. I do the Bucked Up BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, and those are really good for you for muscle recovery and also muscle pump. It's called an intra-workout supplement. These are all things that, again, you don't have to take this stuff or use it at the level that you want to maybe take your fitness goals to. But if you want to see a difference in your body, and I talked to that gentleman yesterday, he wants to make a difference. These are keys that you should be incorporating in your life. The intra BCAAs.
Yeah, the intra BCAAs. I keep in my car the BCAAs, and also there's a product called Perfect Aminos, and there's no calories in them, and you take 5 of them, that's 30 grams of protein, period. In the discussion.
Yep.
Okay, and one thing I need to really express to everybody: water. Water. If you go to a restaurant, you need some water. If they say what you want to drink, don't say a Coke, don't say no Diet Pepsi, say, just bring me some water. Okay, that's what you want. You don't want nothing else. Okay, if you're gonna drink liquor, you gotta understand something. Certain liquors like Cavassier, Hennessy, wine, those are not liquors. Those are wines, they're sugar. Okay? If you're gonna drink a liquor, I said, yeah, get you some vodka, maybe some bourbon. I'm a bourbon person and a whiskey person. That's what I drink. Okay? But it's in moderation.
Well, when you hear people say, I'm drinking light beer.
Boy, you know that one is.
You gotta remember, alcohol is alcohol. Your body doesn't say, oh, you're not gonna get fat from light beer because I'm gonna process it different. Your body's gonna break it down, metabolize it. Alcohol slows your metabolism down, stores it, turns to sugar, which becomes fat. Okay, so alcohol is alcohol. So like he's saying, moderation. I'm a bourbon whiskey guy. I was just down in Nashville. We did an amazing bourbon and whiskey tour. Best bourbon and whiskey down in this side of the country.
Oh boy. Everything is in moderation. Just take your time with life. Enjoy life. Remember what you're trying to do. You want to live. Okay, that's the whole point. What we do is different. We go to the extreme when we compete. But when we're not competing, oh no, we're back like you. We're just back just like you. We do it like he does it for 16 weeks. I do mine for, maybe 12 to 8 weeks, something like that. That's it. Okay, and then once it's over, I said, no, I'm done. And and he went down there, did a bourbon test. I've been to Nashville, did one. I buy my bourbon and whiskey here, and I'm like, no. And that's why I told people this year that everybody asked me, am I competing this year? I said, not this year. Next year I will compete. Okay, and I said I'm going to look a lot different. And if you look at my website, okay, you will see that you change. And as we get older, I mean, me and him getting old. We getting old. I'm gonna tell you. I mean, I woke up this morning. I said, 58. God damn. I said, I've been doing this how long? I mean, and your metabolism will. You can manipulate it if you want to. It's up to you. So, I mean, bodybuilding it establishes a discipline that is, I mean, I'm from the military, I'm a vet. So, you don't get the benefit until after you get out the military of understanding what it really does. But then when you're doing bodybuilding, I said, you don't understand. When you're doing meal prep, when you're scheduling out everything, your workouts and everything, you are really focused and lasered in, okay? And it is fun, okay? And it's supposed to be fun. But at the end, that last 4 weeks, you know what that last 4 weeks is.
Well, it's funny, as long as we've both been doing this, we probably have combined 80 years of fitness knowledge here between the two of us. I mean, to this day, I still hire a coach to coach me through my program. I don't know if you work with a coach.
Yeah, I have a coach.
Yeah,
I have a coach.
I mean, I know what I'm doing. I know what I have to do. But having a coach and I'm paying him a fee makes me not only accountable, but also, I don't want to waste my money. So it makes me want to do it even more. And then I'll tell you, when I got to do those weekly check-in photos I don't know, when you do a picture of yourself, with terrible lighting, you're not tan, you're just standing there in your skivvies, you're like, I don't want to send this. This looks terrible. But it's not about, he just wants to see the progress. Okay, because in bodybuilding, it's all about the progress. Okay, getting the fat off. Okay, getting the water out the last 72 hours. So it's this process. And if I didn't have the coach, that process, I'd be my own judge. I mean, there's been 2 days before a contest where he'd say to me, he goes, you're holding too much water. You gotta get this off. I'm thinking, I'm really tight right now, and it's great to have that unbiased opinion. And I tell him, I said, don't ever hold anything back, because that's what I'm paying you for. I said, I can take it.
Yeah, tell us the truth.
Yeah.
Tell us the truth. I mean, I'm a coach as well, and I tell people, I'm like, you're not ready. No, you're not ready. You're just not there yet. Okay. I said, what did you do on your diet? I can tell.
Oh yeah.
Okay, coaches can tell. It's like, oh boy. I said, but it's the accountability part. When you have somebody, don't ask your family. You do not ask the family. Because they're biased. Oh, you look great. And don't ask the guys in the gym. Oh man, you buff, man, you look good. No. I said, when you're getting ready for what we do, you don't have to do what we do. But the best thing I can give you to take away from all of this is be comfortable in your own skin. Okay? You got to be comfortable in your own skin. If you look in that mirror, you don't need to ask anybody what you look like. You already know what you look like. So be comfortable in your own skin. My wife does that to me. She says, am I fat? I said, well, there's 2 answers to that question.
Loaded question.
Okay. I said, 1, your doctor already told you. 2, you know what you look like in the mirror. Then I walk away real fast.
Remember that.
Another thing too is, the knowledge. Over the years, I've had the pleasure and the privilege to train with Arnold Luferignos, some of the top bodybuilders, and the Rich Gasparis and Tom Platzes. And these are names that are former, you know who Lou and Arnold are, but these are guys, and I picked their brains over the years. I just always picked their brain. And if I got one thing that I utilized in my, in my workout, it was a great time. It was a success. And I still remember Arnold telling me that about a way to do a isolate a concentration curl. you know, and you know, keeping your arm out of the way and just coming up and keeping your wrist back. And I still use that, you know, today when I'm pumping up for a show. I can take a 10-pound dumbbell and make my arms feel like they're going to explode with just a 10-pound dumbbell. So it's not about how much weight you lift. People always ask me, I'm sure they do, you too, how much you bench press?
And I tell them I don't bench.
Yeah, I can't tell you.
I don't bench press.
You know, and
it's all dumbbells.
Yeah. So I always look at them, I go, why does it matter? Well, you know, you must be really strong. I said, strength has nothing to do with the way I look. You know, so it's unfortunately that people have this misconception that I'm not a power lifter, you know, and I really don't care how much I bench press. Like you said, it's all dumbbells, you know, and as we get older, you have shoulder issues. Bench pressing is probably the worst exercise physically for your body because it puts your rotator cuff in an unnatural position and you're locked in. Dumbbell, you can adjust your rotator cuff accordingly to, you know, to allow your shoulder to move.
And don't forget about flies.
Yeah.
You gotta do flies. Flies and dips. I tell people, they say, how did I get my arms and chest the way they are? I said, flies, dips, and dumbbells. And I said, I don't go heavy. I said, it's not about the weight. Every class I teach, I tell the women, I say, do not pick up the same weight I got. I mean, the max we got is 15 pounds in the club. Okay, I said, no, it's about the form. That's all it's about, form, okay, and doing everything right. Okay, do it right. I said, you don't need heavy weight. I said, you're already strong. You just don't know. Okay, you're already strong. I said, no, you guys are already strong. I mean, yeah, you're walking every day. You got up this morning. I mean, you drove up here. I mean, damn, you're already strong. I said, but when you're working with weights, I said, I don't do, you know, I get that same question. How much do I bench? I'm like,
why bench press? Is that like the universal movement, the only movement that, you know, that happens? I mean, bench press. There's squats, there's deadlifts, there's, you know.
Yeah, I'm like, I said, I only do RDLs. I don't do deadlifts per se, unless I'm getting ready for a contest. And I said, and then I only go, you know, maybe 100 pounds. Okay, and everybody said, well, I said, one, I'm getting old. Okay, and it hurts. Okay, and I said, I don't want to hurt myself. And I said, if I'm teaching you, I want you to do in the right form and posture. Like when we do booty bands, I tell all the ladies, I say, it's not about, they keep trying to stretch them. I said, it's not about that. I said, it's about your posture. That's what I'm teaching you. I said, it has nothing to do, the tension is going to be slight tension. It doesn't matter. It's all about posture. I said, when you're lifting weights, you don't need, you know, the guys that you see on YouTube, that's for content. We don't lift that way. He's trained with them. I've trained with him. Okay, we don't lift, you know, do flies with 40-pound dumbbells. There's no way in hell. Okay, you know, I mean, I'm not squatting 500 pounds. I mean, if I was a power lifter, it's for an event. If I was a football player, then you would do bench press. Okay, I don't play football. I'm not a power lifter. I don't need all that weight. So I say, no, I just use dumbbells.
So I think we're getting close on time here. Do we have questions from the audience here? Anything that's on your mind?
Any questions?
I've got one, but it's a bit of a bit from what we're talking about. But last year we had the Mortal Kombat panel, which was a ton of fun because we had everybody. And now you maintain a relationship with all those people pretty much, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, we all still speak to each other. You know, John Turk, even though he's out on the West Coast, John Tobias is on the West Coast, we all still speak to each other. We got Caitlin out there now. We got Rich DeVizio, Danny Pacina, his brother Carlos. So yeah, we all speak to each other. We've been doing it. I said, I know you guys better than I know my own family. Okay? I mean, it's over 30 years.
Steve, do you maintain relationships with the other gladiators?
Yeah, we do. I do. Like we just filmed, the Netflix documentary that just came out this last summer that went to #1. We had a blast getting together, for the filming of that. And it's funny because after 30 years, like you were saying, some of us haven't talked to each other, in those times very infrequently. But it's like once we got together, it was like we didn't even skip a beat.
Yeah.
It's like boom, it got picked up right there. We were making jokes about each other, fun jokes like we always used to do. But Laser and I still talk. We probably chat a couple times a week. Nitro, and he lives just. I got him and his wife a house up in about 30 miles from where I'm from. So yeah, it's great. I'm doing an appearance next weekend with Ice in El Paso, Texas. So yeah, we still stay. So how many people that are here right now are going to do something different in their life starting tomorrow?
I'll start today.
Okay.
Yes, please say today.
Okay. So I'm not asking you guys to set a goal to be a competitive bodybuilder, but please make a change, something that's going to make you feel better and look better, okay? And something that makes you feel better about yourself. And it's not about always fitness. It might be just your diet. It might be just getting out and going for a walk, okay? It might be just incorporating more green vegetables in your diet. So there's a lot of things you can do to improve your lifestyle, it really is. And I hope you guys take something that we both said today and utilize it to make your life better.
Amen to that. Just remember, it's about consistency. So whatever you do, just stay consistent with it. Okay? Drink plenty of, my pet peeves are plenty of water, good food, and rest. And definitely rest. That 4-hour night sleep, that ain't gonna cut it. Getting too old for that. Okay, getting too damn old for that. I'm gonna tell you something. I get up at every day, no matter where I'm at 4 o'clock in the morning. Every single day. I sleep exactly 6 hours. Okay? And I drink water. Lots of water. You go to a restaurant? No. They say, what do you want to drink? Don't say a Coke. Don't say a Pepsi. Say water. Just bring me, a cold glass of water. Okay? That's all.
Yeah, it's funny. They had me on a panel, or I had a demo with the Tower Jousting game last night, and I saw my schedule that had me from 9:30 to 10:30. I'm thinking, I'm asleep by then.
Oh, as you get older, I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be going to sleep earlier, and earlier. And because last night, besides being up here, I said, what time is it? They said, oh, it's 10 o'clock. Yeah, that's about bedtime. Yeah, it's about bedtime. And then I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I got up this morning, used the bathroom, looked at my watch, 4 o'clock, like clockwork. You can train your body, okay? You can train your body to do all of that. So make some changes in your life if you have not already. It's really relatively simple. It takes about 90 days, but it's relatively simple. Just drink more water, get a good night rest, eat correctly. You can eat beef, you can eat chicken, it's up to you. It's how much you're gonna eat. A lot of the fatty foods I would stay away from, okay? Unlike me, I don't eat a lot of sugar and I don't eat a lot of carbs, okay? If you're gonna eat carbs, we're talking about rice and potatoes, okay? We don't count vegetables. Vegetables are 90% water, so we don't really count that. But we will count the rice and potatoes. Okay, pizza, if you want to have a slice, just not a bunch of them.
John, thank you very much. Steve, thank you very much. Let's have a big round of applause.
And there you go. That's the end of this week's podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, learning about how to build up your body and getting into the entertainment industry. May it be on television, in movies, or video games. There's a path from just building your body up and going to competitions. There is a path outside of that, and hopefully getting into something to where it'll pay off, just like it did for Steve Henneberry and John Parrish. And that's it. That's all I've got to say for this week's podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And until next time, take care, stay safe, and game on.